Hi, Sparrows. Welcome to the room, part 2. I am Valerie Miller of TVM, the Valerie Miller Double Fold. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. Outside of that quick little glitch, I am bringing to you tonight at TVM, we're welcoming Erica Malachi. We're going to welcome in Erica Malachi. She's of the Empowerment Palace Ministries, and she's an author. So we have author to author conversations tonight, sister to sister talks. We're talking African American literature, the author's lab, so many things tonight. And we got it. Hi,
We got
Veronica.
it.
Girl, sometimes you got to drop out and come back in again.
Honey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, honey. Let's make it work. Let's make it
Yes,
work.
absolutely. Welcome to the room, Miss Erica.
Hey, I'm excited to be in this room, okay? This room,
The conscious room. That's where it's at.
the conscious room. Love the Valerie Miller room, okay? Excitement goes down in this room.
Honey girl, it's been a long time. I'm grateful to have you here. We've been chatting about it, chatting about it. The day finally appeared. So
Yes.
you are here right next to me. It's a lot of juice to be
Yes.
served tonight.
Mm,
So much to talk
mm.
about.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
And
I'm
we
ready.
can start with you giving just a little bit about Erica Malachi. Who is Erica Malachi? How did she even become who she is, sitting where she is today?
Oh,
Unleash
wow.
that.
Oh, let me unleash that right now, raw as it can be. So I want you to listen carefully. This might sound far-fetched because people like to start off with accolades a little bit, but I have three main ingredients that makes me who I am, Valerie.
Uh-huh.
And number one is dirt,
Mm.
dirt.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why I say dirt
Love it.
is because I realize that I am part of the earth.
Yes.
And because I'm part of the earth, God has also made me a seed to the earth to bring forth all of this goodness that we'll hear what God has stored on the inside of me to release.
Absolutely.
So the second thing is clay. Mm-hmm. These some
Share,
good answers,
share,
honey.
share, and break it down.
Okay, so clay is the fact that you heard of Jeremiah says that he is the potter and I am the clay.
Yes.
So that is where the structure of me is being in the making for things to come forth.
Exactly.
Hello?
Hey.
And then the third one is the anointing,
Uh-huh.
which is, well, the oil. Let me say the oil. So it's dirt, clay, oil. And the oil is the anointing that helps me to walk in the power
Uh-huh.
so that I can release all that he has. So that equals into something that I like to call a wonder. And when I looked up the word wonder, girl,
What
hold
does
on,
it
I just got to
say?
get
What does it say,
Girl,
Erica?
let me tell you what it says right here. It says that, okay, I have my little drop card here. Oh, here it is. I got it. It says that it is something beautiful, unexpected, unexplainable, unfamiliar. That would be me at this point. Yeah, go ahead and scratch your head on that. When God gave that to me, and what happened is all that equals up to the dramas that I do, the
Right.
book I have written,
Yes.
the things that's in my heart. All that comes from the dirt, the clay, and the oil.
It sure does, because it takes all of those experiences in life. It utilizes each element that you mentioned, which in on my side of the fence, I will say the layers of us. It's so many different layers
Oh,
that create us to
yes,
be who we are. And it takes every
yes.
walk, every situation, every powerful, great thing, every lowly, heartbreaking thing, all intertwined
Mm,
in that sound bowl called life to sculpt the
mm-hmm.
becoming the present. In
Yes, I
one
love
word,
that.
fabulous for me. My word is
Fabulous.
fabulous. Yeah.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
it. I
Nothing
love
without
it. I
him.
love it.
That's really what's my other word, Erica? You know I'm going to say it's juicy. So when you say those types of things, because we are from the earth,
Mm-hmm.
it does take clay to shape us,
Mm-hmm.
to form us to our being. And the anointing is what
Mm-hmm.
we all receive, which we're born with in the
Mm-hmm.
first place. It's a birthright gift. It's up to us to tap into it. So
Yes, it is.
that type of a thing really displays in our everyday life, in our everyday walks. So you can say
Yes,
one thing, you can be called for something, but when you're chosen to do, that's a responsibility.
exactly. And it's
Yeah,
about stepping up to that
it
responsibility.
is. It is. And
Wonderful.
writing books.
Okay.
Everybody
Writing
threatening it.
books.
Everybody, oh, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I was one of those, oh, just threatened all the time. However, there are circumstances, and sometimes life reveals itself to where you don't have a choice. You have to write it. You're
Okay.
going to write it, or you're going to be disturbed until you do. So, with that being said, we've both written books, and these aren't just
Yes.
fiction books, these are nonfiction. We are talking the reels of reels, the
Mm.
truths, and being
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable and transparent to share this information with others.
Yes.
Okay, now give us a bit about yours, the spirit of a
Oh,
champion. Like, give a
mm. Give
glimpse.
you a little, give
Yeah,
a little
because when
glimpse.
I
I'm gonna
start
give a
doing this, when
small.
I start doing this, I really need you to be transparent. I want to need you to
I'm
give
going
it.
to be transparent.
Okay,
Raw.
give
I'm going to
it.
give it
Give
raw.
it.
Okay. So the spirit of a champion is really talking about my scars on how people, I have a shovel that lives on the inside of me, guys, and you don't see it, but I have one visible now, and it has a list of names on this shovel that, um, they use that shovel was people that have hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Those people have shoved me in the corner. Those people that have I've been molested. Even my own negativity against my own self, because we can be our own worst enemy.
Absolutely.
Those names were on the list of this shovel, and I find myself being buried.
Mm.
Okay, and I have this. I start off my book with the anthem, and my new anthem was "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." It sounds so cliche, but when your light has been off and dim for so long, Valerie, when your
Yeah.
light has been cut off from every sound,
Yes.
and you feel as if you cannot make it in this world of a world that has so many opinions and have so many lanes, and if you don't fit that mold, you feel like you could just not going to survive.
Right.
So just thinking about my life and trying to become out of the caterpillar to a butterfly, it took me going through a whole lot, but through the rain, through the shovel, and the being buried in the ground is where I actually needed to be, because while I was being planted in the dark, that is the time God used me to grow. And
Yes.
then he was able to release me from with the rain, loosen me from the grips of the hands. And that is when I was able to arise through with the scars, still have the scars. And I thank God for them. I look at the
They're
scars
beautiful.
all the time, and they
Beautiful.
are very
Yeah.
beautiful. And so, with that being said, I rose from the dark. So, being the spirit of a champion, I had to just realize what it took. And I'm telling you, number one thing I realized what it took was definitely God. But number two thing, people opinions is just that, opinions.
Use that shovel to ditch that.
Okay,
Nobody has time for it.
nobody has time for
And it's
that.
only yours. It has nothing to do with me. You can think what you want, and it could be
Yes,
something that resonates or not. However, at the same
yes,
time, we all have so much to share. We all have our stories, we have our scars.
yes.
And to me, each and every scar is beauty defining itself.
But do you ever realize, Valerie, I want to say something else? What I realize even the most, we say that very candid and
Mm-hmm.
loosely, but
Mm-hmm.
do we realize that that is the very thing that the enemy used against each other,
Right.
for us to not to fulfill our purpose, to not write the book,
Yeah.
and the fear,
Yeah.
the fear
Yeah.
of what someone else would think
Careless.
about.
Right.
Okay,
But it care
careless.
less. I don't care. I always have on my imaginary T-shirt. I don't care what you think, the next
Yes.
person think. if God give me a responsibility, an option for me to choose, I'm going to always choose what he's given to do
Come on
that.
now.
And you're right. Everybody don't have that strength that you or I may have to stand up and say, you know what, I could care less what somebody else think, because there are so many people in the world today who are followers, and it's a significant difference between followers and leaders. So
Come
when
on
you
now.
are a follower, it's easy for you to concede to that and care what other people
Yes.
may think about you, or allow
Yes.
what they say to you to plant seed, and it outshadows what God has given you, and you know you have the option to do. You know you have the strength to do that. You know they have every ability
Yes.
to do that. However, when you allow those things to take place and shape your life, or shall I say reshape what the original
Mm-hmm.
thought was, that association is so serious. Sometimes you've got to
Mm-hmm.
pull out the weeds in the garden
Okay
in
now.
order to really nurture yourself in those places, to stand strong and
Yes.
to make sure the light stays there versus the darkness. Because anytime you can go backwards into that darkness, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're covered up with the dirt.
Okay
You're
now.
covered up.
Okay
You're
now.
covered up. And it's not
Okay.
easy to do. It's not. It's a choice.
No.
It's a
Yes.
choice to
It's a
take the heat.
choice. It's a choice to take the heat.
Right.
It's a choice to show up in your life.
Right.
It's a choice to say yes, and the responsibility of your own identity, because no
Yeah.
one else has it.
Mm-mm.
It's just a choice. I agree.
Mm-mm.
A
Love
big
it. A
choice.
big choice.
Love it.
But if you like to be
Mm-hmm.
defined by yourself and what you know that you already are, who I am, because I am is so powerful. And as long as I know that I am a reflection of the Father and the Lord that I serve, I can care less about what somebody else think. I'm going to do
Exactly.
that. However, it's not as easy like we said before. It's not. And that
No.
choice, either you're going to make it, at the end of the day, you've made it. Either you move toward it or you choose not to. It's still a
Yes.
choice that you have made,
Yes.
that you have to now live with. But when it comes to sharing your story,
Mm.
not everybody's willing to share that.
No.
It's from embarrassment and fear, you know,
Mm.
judgment.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Because sometimes in the book I wrote about when I was dealing in my marriage,
right,
and it was a difficult time, and I'm going to keep it really
right.
short. And I talked about when I was so depressed, okay? And girl, how about I ate 6 hamburgers at one time? Okay, hold on
Ain't
now.
nobody
It
dealing
get
with you.
juicy. Okay, listen now. Ate 6 hamburgers at one time because I could not get over. I was in such a depressed place of dealing with a heartbreak and heartache. And so I ate 6 hamburgers at one time. And girl, how about like today? I really don't even like hamburgers,
Uh-huh.
but how about I was throwing up hamburgers from my nostrils because I was so sick.
Hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes even I knew God. Okay, let's talk about that. I knew God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I allowed the darkest situation in my life to overshadow where I was at. But what I do want to say for myself, and I thank God for it, that it's not about staying down. It's about
Getting up.
getting up. And that's what I learned through
Yeah.
that book and being a champion. It's
Yeah.
about getting up,
Yeah.
honey. Get up.
Yeah.
Get up and try again. Get up
Yeah.
and do it
Every
again.
time. Every time. Because you can't stay there.
No,
You
ma'am.
can't stay there. If you
No.
do, you'll die.
I was on my way out.
Yeah.
You hear me?
You
I
give
was
up.
actually killing myself.
Right.
Okay. Mm.
Nobody got time for dying. It's not time yet.
No.
It's not time yet. But when you
Mm-mm.
realize that and you understand the power of getting back up every time, whether if
Mm.
you fall down or push down, kick down, get back up because you serve
Mm-hmm.
purpose. And it doesn't
Yes.
matter what it looks like in our lives, the different things that we all experience, like you were saying, in your marriage.
That's tea all by itself, honey, right?
That's a whole different conversation. Total
Ooh.
different conversation, because we learn so much about ourselves in the midst of these
Yes.
trials, of these different
Mm-hmm.
experiences. And if you didn't have them, it's not even feasible for you to be able
Mm-hmm.
to rise up in the midst of them, to even know what you're
Mm,
going to do. And a lot of people
mm,
may voice their opinions and things. So, well, I wouldn't do that. I don't know why you did that. Like, honey, you don't know until you're in the midst of
mm-hmm.
it. You really don't. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that, you really have to be mindful of saying and displaying when it comes to judgment. It could be something so subtle, and that could really knock someone off of their path of things that they're focused on just because of something that somebody else say, because of influences and things like that. You don't know how huge you could be in somebody else's life, and you can say one word and they believe
Mm-hmm.
you and knock them off of what they're supposed to be doing and viewing and seeing, or staying in something or walking away from something because of an opinion of somebody else. So I'm loving that whole concept of the dirt,
Okay.
of the clay. I like to play in the dirt. The dirt makes the best mud mass in the world. And on
Oh,
top
don't
of that,
start.
the clay. I got some clay I'm playing with over here right now with a mix, for honey, rebrand, tighten that face, live your life.
Okay.
Those types of
Okay.
things. And it's reasons behind that. Reasons behind
Mm,
it. Because
mm.
everything that comes from the earth is to grow you.
Come on now.
It's to
Come on.
flourish you. It's a part of your
Am I?
becoming,
Mm,
man. I mean, you have to really understand or be in a place where you're
mm,
falling to where you can't fall anymore. And then that's where you
mm,
marry yourself with God or whomever your higher power is. And when you can go face down, because I love it down there.
mm.
I love it down
Beautiful.
there because that's when I can
Mm,
only learn and see who I am. And hearing
mm-hmm.
you have this dialogue, yeah, that's very impressionable. It is, and can resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Amen.
juice is juice.
Awesome.
Serve some more.
Juice is juice. I just want to say the best thing about too. I know we're still in that realm of the book and who I am.
Right,
A lot of reasons that helps me walk the walk that I am and makes it easier
right,
for me.
right,
Like when you walking and you waking up every morning, you're waking up to purpose and the responsibility
right,
of being the CEO of your life, because
right.
people don't understand to wake up and be the CEO of your life is really wonderful. And so being the CEO of my life, what makes it easier for me to wake up with all this extra purpose is that I know that I have a God, but this is the best part,
Right.
Valerie, put your seatbelt on, that he has already gone before me.
Yes.
And because he's already gone before me, I know that I will arrive to wherever he has already destined for me to be. And that is what makes my life a lot much easier to deal with.
It sure does because you know there's a destination in mind. You don't know what it
Mm,
is. All we know is we're moving
mm,
forward toward it. It's something greater than where
mm-hmm.
we stand. You can't stay
Yes.
there and looking at peripherals, just no reason to go left or right. If you're forward thinking and you know in your heart
Mm-hmm.
of what that purpose is and you're
Mm-hmm.
living it out, you're walking it out every day because not all of us are. When you are doing that,
Mm-mm.
that's a whole different wake up call every morning.
Mhm.
And I say wake up
Mhm.
call because you have somewhere to be, some place to go. Introduction to
Yes.
yourself. Every morning is an opportunity for that very thing to be introduced another day to yourself because of
Mhm.
where we're going.
Beautiful. Love it.
Honey, there's more. But listen,
There's more.
listen, the Empowerment Palace.
Mm.
I see you all over the place. Going this place, going to that place, women's empowerment here. The focus is there. And I
Mm.
see the joy in it. And I know it's
Mm.
all because it's fold from all of the experiences you've had. You've written
Mm.
about it. You're on the other side of it. And it gets even greater, right?
Okay.
Right? So I see it. And
Right.
this is just me on the other side of it.
Mm.
Since you're in the
Wow.
midst of it, I want to see
Mm.
that light when you turn that camera on when you're ever at some destination, like you were just at Myrtle Beach, right? And so
Yes.
I said, look at this one. Look at this one. I see it.
Mm.
So
Mm.
tell the Sparrows
Wow.
about Erica in that spot, because to create a space called
Mm.
the Empowerment Palace, this isn't just a room. this isn't just a building. This is a palace. Palaces are
Mm-hmm.
huge,
Okay.
sculpted on purpose.
Woo, girl, you better
Okay?
stop now. I gotta pull it
The
together, Lord.
columns, because to me, what I'm seeing
Mm,
is accomplishment of sorts.
mm,
It's a
mm-hmm,
place that you present to women that wasn't
mm,
available when you needed it.
mm, 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 mm.
I speak it because I know
Wow.
all about it. So I want you to
Oh.
to to elaborate on
Whew.
that.
Mm. The Paramount Palace, we started in 2014. I think this is our fifth year.
Uh-huh.
6 years will be our birthday. Actually, we have an easy birthday, which is January the 1st.
Huh.
We launched. I did that on purpose, easy breezy. Start day one with 365 to go.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
So with that in mind, we wasn't actually called the Empowerment Palace in the beginning. We was called Studio Extraordinary Parlor
Mm-hmm.
because we did extraordinary things. But anyway, take it back. The Empowerment Palace is actually an empowerment center that is fully loaded with different suites in it.
Okay.
I like, yes, with different suites from ladies to gent
Uh-huh.
to men,
Uh-huh.
from teens, from kids, characters, workshops, and it's fully loaded of biblical training. It is a ground where we are not in one location. We are a kingdom on the
Move.
move. We crack the code of many diseases that many people faces. And when you say diseases, you're like, oh, that's a hard word. But people are faced with many diseases, which is
Exactly.
called depression, alcoholism, you name it, abuse.
Right.
We are ready for that. We are ready to bring people stuck. Just stuck is in discouragement is a disease, whether you know it or not.
Right.
It is a disease that keep people in fear, that keeps their feet from moving forward. Even self-esteem is very low in this community, in our culture, and just wherever I've been. Just helping people become so motivated,
Right.
Valerie. And people don't understand empowerment and motivation is very key. Even the word says that we should encourage one another and we should lay our life down for our brothers and sisters. And that
Absolutely.
is what the Empowerment Palace is doing. We're setting trails for people to say, I can do this and I can unleash my best potential going forth.
You better. You better, because look at it like this. You've said a mouthful, first of all, when it comes to what the palace has grown to be, because it didn't start that
Mm,
way. Anything that we have an idea or feel like we have an idea of what it's going to be like in the beginning, it's always going to be a transformation. And
yes.
usually within that first year, you're going to start noticing that
Mm,
I need to shift this, change that. This is working, that isn't working. Who am I really
yes.
speaking to? Are they understanding that
Yes.
I'm here? Do they even understand what can be done if we work together to do
Yes.
this? So, palace of sorts, and just that word alone, really it
Mm,
bridges the gaps. It brings in so many different lanes of individuals that may have thought
yes.
about doing something different, have thought about doing some things in community, have thought about a disease that they have that they've hidden from
Mm,
everybody else, and it's just eating away at them. But digging deeper than
mm-hmm.
that to understand why it's come to light. Why are you drinking so much? Why are you smoking this
Mm,
marijuana? Why are you on these streets? Why are you giving yourself away so freely? So it's a number of
mm-hmm.
different types of diseases because it all stems from the mindset,
Mm-hmm. That's
the
good.
situation that's landed you there. So until you get to the root of that, it's going to take a palace of people, it's going to take a village of people, it's going to take communities. However, the
Yes.
first step is your own, to voice it, to admit, to say, you know what, I have this situation that I need help with. And pride will hinder people from growing, from standing
Mm,
up, from making the change that's necessary for them to soar in their lives. However, keeps them buried and pressed down in the midst of life, which is so beautiful. When we can exchange that fear for fabulous, or fear for fierce, or fear for faith. Take any of those
Yes.
three F's or another F.
Come on.
That's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So when
Yes.
you can do those things, and it takes, a number of falls back
Mm.
up, because you do get up.
Mhm.
If it's a thought in your
Mhm.
mind, that's God saying, you know what, go on, Erica. Go ahead, Valerie. You're going to have to do something about that, or you're going to be made to do something that you never thought that you're going to be doing, like sitting
Yes.
on either side here or creating spaces
Mhm.
for other individuals because of experiences that we've had alike,
Mhm.
because there's
Mhm.
always somebody else that's going through that similar or same thing that we're dealing with. And to talk about it,
Mhm.
that is the growth. That is
Mhm.
that mustard seed of faith that you're going to need in order to pull up,
Yes.
let it take root and
Yes.
shape. So I was really excited to meet you, and I never would have known who you were if it wasn't for Alicia. Never.
I know. Hey,
Hey,
Alicia.
girl. So if it wasn't for her, little Miss Phillips, honey, if it wasn't for her, because I had no idea who is this Erica Malachi? Who is
I
this
know,
sending me a
right?
note? Who is this? And that was well over what, a year now? Has it been a year? About a
Yes.
year
It's been
ago?
a year. Almost a year. Almost a year.
Right.
Almost a year.
And that was because of, what?
God.
Yes. And bridging the gap of talking about authors and African American
Mhm.
authors, and then looking at the author's
Yes.
lab and what's taking
Yes.
place, and you're growing that space. And I just thought it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Yes.
So kudos
Yes.
to that, and it's something that's continually growing, and I'm passionate about
Mhm.
what it is that you're doing, and I will keep right on talking. So I'm going to put a zip on it for myself so you can kind of shine some light on that particular space of your life and how it was something that you connect with and why.
Okay, so it's easy breezy for me. My uncle and I invited my uncle, which is Michael Strong. I invited him to come when I actually had a book. Collision of artistry is what I had called it, and he wrote a book talking strong getting stronger, and he has a really great story on how he had transformed from being on narcotics and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
really a great, phenomenal story. But anyway, the couple of years later, he said, I want to do this. I want to do this. You want to do this with me? And I was like, yes. So what better place where Dizzy Gillespie was the founder, which is Sherrall, South Carolina. A lot of history here in Sherrall. And so we was like, let's do it. And so last year we decided to do it, which is Michael Strong and Erica Malachi and Clay Scott. We're all from the surrounding areas, Hamlet, Sherrall, and Wallace. And we wanted to shine a light on Black authors. You know what I mean?
Love it.
I mean, it's so spectacular to see our faces. Sometimes I am not prejudiced, but to
Right.
see our faces and hear our voices, our
Right.
stories, all in one room at
Right.
one time,
Hey.
girl. That was a celebration to behold, and part two is this year. You hear me?
Yes. Yes. I can't even wait for it.
Okay.
The funny thing
Yes.
is, I paid registration, got all prepared for it, was going to
I
have
know.
book two ready to drop. God was like, "Oh, girl, child, please, you will not have that book ready.
I
You're
know,
gonna
right?
that won't be dropping till later on." Little did I know that it would be 2020, right? So even by
Wow.
then, it still won't be out already. But the thing
Right.
is, in my mind, I had planned to do that
Yes.
because sometimes we can kind of move things around and orchestrate to believe that this is going to happen by an appointed time, and we move out of
Yes.
order. So when that took place, and I had to be like, he was like, okay. I said, okay, I won't. I'll leave it alone. And then
Exactly.
just gifted, my
Mm.
table, like that whole full on, because I had in my mind, because you
Oh,
know me, I'll go there, just have it all laid. But the thing is,
yes.
to gift it to someone that was so
Mm.
deserving.
Yes, he was. Miguel was so
Miguel,
deserving.
yeah, he is just so
Love
adorable,
him.
and it's just
He
it's to the
is.
point to where in my heart, I mean, granted, he's from my hometown, of Bethune.
Yes.
However, I just watch him and the things that he's doing. My heart
Oh
goes
my
out.
God.
It's like I've totally adopted him in my heart. And I told Annette that, his mom. I said I've adopted him in my heart because
Yes.
of the things that I see him doing. Although I could not make that event, I
Mm.
gifted him the opportunity to shine because of the things that I saw him doing in community and the things, his books that he's written. And he is such a little saint. And I just love that about him. So that is one of the reasons why, that space is necessary also. It's not always about ourselves and how we present to others. It's
No.
about what we can gift to other people to be a
Yes.
presentation to
Yes.
shine, who still wouldn't have known
Yes.
about that at the time. And I say all the time,
Yes.
do not sleep on the Carolinas. Don't do it.
Don't do
So
it.
much power and punch come from small towns and spaces.
Come on
It's
now.
a fierce space to be in, and then meeting you through Alicia, connecting the dots of wherever they need to
Yes.
be. However, we know
Mm-hmm.
part two, I will be in the midst
In the
of that
house.
of that number two, number two,
Yes.
because I applaud
Yes.
that. I applaud the stories. And like you, I'm extremely passionate about African American writers. And I want to hear real stories. No pun against
Yes.
fiction, no pun. However, if I'm writing real life stories, I want to read and know about real life stories. It's not about a celebrity.
Yes.
No pun
Mm-mm.
again, nothing against a celebrity. However, my focus is on the next door neighbor, the stories of the person at the supermarket, the
Yes.
person that has so many things in their heart they want to share with the world, may not even know how
Yes.
to go about presenting. The way God had it for me and you to do isn't going to be the same walk
Mm-hmm.
for somebody else. So when he said you will write, edit, you do everything from beginning
Mm-hmm.
to end with yours, with your book,
Mm-hmm.
then you will self-publish that book. And I was like, I don't know who you think you're talking to. I love you that much. However, who's getting ready to do that? Big brother who?
Okay.
But I did. And the only other help that I received was my niece, Tiffany Williams. And she's a
Wow.
graphics designer. She created the cover. So seeing that and being in the midst of that and knowing what it feels like to have fear, to
Mm.
write about our stories, to share our stories with the world, we all have that. It's a
Yes,
vulnerable space to be
it
in,
is.
to have to
Yes, it is.
go there, relive things, writing in journals and pulling those things out, those pieces of paper and things that you always cherished and had
Mm.
around in places, to bring it all out and then put it into the binding of a book. That's
Mm-hmm.
liberating, that's
Yes.
healing, that is
Mm.
growing in that space, that's forgiveness, that's love for yourself and others, that's transparency. So doing
Yes, and I
that,
want to jump. Mm-hmm.
go.
Go ahead. I'm
Girl, it's
sorry.
double dutch. You might want to jump in
I know, right?
or you can
So
get
I
in.
better jump
You
in.
better
I
do it.
better jump
You
in.
better jump in.
Yeah, because there that day we saw so many people come forth, and
Yeah,
even them was the spotlight that was on them. We had jazz is going to be there again this year.
good.
We also have spoken word that
Mm-hmm.
come on now, a writer and that writes, and that's gonna be so liberating itself. I'm gonna have spoken word. We're gonna hear from authors. We call it pass the mic, honey.
Yes.
And so yeah, so they're able to talk about their book, but also read. We're gonna have storytelling, and we're gonna have an artist there that's going to show off her painting where she has been. She actually saw her mother die with abuse, and she paints so well now. So she'll have some paintings there. So I'm
Awesome.
excited about this author's hour, which will be March 28th, 2020, from 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. at
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Lear on the Main, in Sherrall.
Can't wait.
I can't wait
Can't
either. I'm
wait.
excited.
Because it's the second year and it was such a success last year. And then I'm sure the numbers are going to grow because of that
Yes.
experience. And then, looking at the truth of it all, the encouragement behind it, the
Mm.
excitement, the word on the street, and how those people can just spread it and talk great things about it,
Yes.
and having a love for, like I said, African American, Black literature is important to keep books in hands. Like, it's one thing to have the tablets and you
Yes.
got the digital and all of that, but it's nothing like turning the page of a book, and
Yes.
getting all enthralled into that story, and especially knowing that that story was written by someone that looked like me and you. And it's not always that opportunity. However, let's put it this way, that's not always visible. We don't always
Exactly.
see it because there's so many new artists that come out every day, and creating the space and having the platform to where they can come and display their stories and share with the world, even if it's one time or over a period of time. That's one of the reasons and the announcements that I wanted to share with tonight, because this platform has been evolving since it began. And the
Mm.
way it started, it isn't at all right now.
Wow.
It is not. And so I just kind of just
Wow.
back out the way and throw my hands up, like, you know what, God, do what you're going to do with it. I'm just here to be that vessel and the voice in the middle of it. Just, just it would be nice if you give me a couple, 2 or 3 steps ahead so I can just kind of breathe in the middle
Yes.
of it. So, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
casting in that because it's going to be sincere focus when it comes to African
Mm-hmm.
American authors, and that's for non-fiction. It doesn't matter what your story looks like. It could be in music, because I love music. And that's how I pretty much share my story and write to my stories and things like that, is because of that. It's
And
writing
before
and
you
music.
And before you conclude this session, I just want to say also, this is a time we don't get to celebrate each other's success
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Let me say that,
yeah.
here at the Authors Lab, we are all for each other. We
Yes.
are celebrating each other accomplishments, getting to know each other as author to author. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time. And we only have 20 spots for the authors, Valerie, only 20. So that means, pay your little $35 so you could be one of the main events. And I think it's only $5 to get in to
Right.
view all of the authors and associate with them, but it is so worth it. But this is a great opportunity to celebrate each other's
It
successes.
is. It is, because it's such a huge step. It's nothing like having the courage to write it. That's one
Come
thing.
on now. Come
But once you
on.
do it and then you send it off to be printed, and then it's like,
Ooh.
ooh, this is happening. Oh my
It's
God,
happening.
it is happening.
It's going
And
down.
then you get that baby in the mail, you
Mm,
get that proof in the
mm.
mail, and I'll never forget getting that, and then just like, oh my
Oh,
goodness,
wow.
inside this
Oh,
package,
wow.
what is really like, oh my gosh, and just tear that thing open. And
Yes.
the butterflies, the heart is racing, and then you look at it, and
Yes.
then your own pictures on the cover. Your title is there, and you're flipping through like O, M, and G.
You know what I smell?
What?
Victory. When I held that book, I
Yeah,
smelt victory.
yeah.
I smell, people say, how you smell it? Is I don't know. It's been cooking and baking, and it was like a sweet smell of sour of just, oh, I smelled victory,
It's the
honey.
proof.
Victory. It's the
It's the
proof.
proof. It's the proof of
Ah,
the thoughts, of the energy, the long hours, the tears, the laughs, everything that you had to relive is now there. It's in your hands. It's
yes.
in your hands, and
Mm-hmm.
you still don't know what to do with it. Like, I'm looking at it just like boo hooing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have done this, and the release
Yes.
party date is in place. It's only in less than a week's time, and
Come
everybody
on.
has access to now order this and read about
Ooh.
my life. And it was things that
Wow.
most people did not know, and a lot of people tend to think that, I know you, girl, I know you. I'm like, no, you
Mm.
don't. You don't know anything about me.
Go get that book.
You might want to turn some pages. And then that's not all of it, because I couldn't put it
Okay.
all in there. But you really
Okay
don't. You
then.
don't know anybody. You can be married to somebody, you
Right.
don't know them. You can live with somebody, you don't know
Exactly.
them. You can grow up in the same house with them. You do not know them,
Not know them.
because we evolve
Yes.
every single day. We have situations that take
Yes.
place in our lives that we sometimes share and sometimes we don't.
Yes.
We keep it
Exactly.
there. And it's so much behind how we become.
Okay, now
It's how
I'm
we
telling you.
become. And, you just have to embrace that and have a grand acceptance of yourself, that
Come on.
vulnerability. You better have all of that before you release, because you don't know how it's going to be received. But to be strong enough to do it, I applaud each and every person in this world who
Yes.
do it. It doesn't have to be African American, that goes for anybody who has the courage
Anybody.
to do that. I'm just on
Yes.
a path to where this is what God is telling me to do. He said, you use your platform
Yes.
to recognize other people that has
Mm.
stories to share, and it has to be
Yes.
authentic and real stories. So I
Yes.
honey, things are twisting and turning, and then to be in alignment with you, with what you have going on with the author's lab, and then knowing that you're an author
Mm.
as well. We also have our own juice.
Oh, we got some juice, y'all. Some good
We got
juice.
very good juice. I think it's a
Bring the
blend. We
glasses.
should have had a serving of it. It's a little bit of Welch's
Yes.
grapes, and maybe a little simply
Ooh.
orange, and go ahead and add that
Ooh.
simply apple in there too. And then add a
Yes. And a
little,
little bit of
put a
peach,
little
white
ginger ale in
peach.
it. Yeah, give it the
Ooh,
fizzle. So that's
yes.
what we're about to serve you, because of Erica and I being who we are. And
Mm.
thanks again, Alicia, because you connect two women that were destined to meet,
Yes.
because if it wasn't for your connection with family and
Yes.
friendship, we wouldn't have been able to
Mm-hmm.
do that. So, smooches to you, darling. And so,
Smooches.
with that, Erica and I are always having the grandest conversations. I mean, we
Oh
can
my
go
gosh.
in on conversations, but we've pretty much been led to do a workers retreat. I mean, a writers and authors writing retreat.
Yes. You
That's
better say that
coming.
again in case they didn't hear you. You
We
better
are
tell them again.
having a writer's
Ooh.
retreat for all those people have one toe in, one toe out. They're doing that double dutch, back and forth, back and forth. I
Yes.
want to, not sure how to do it, but we didn't know. We had to learn.
Mm-mm.
And because of
Mm-hmm.
how we had to learn, and we have that product in hand, the proof, the
Mm-hmm.
relationship that we have with the God that we serve, it is powerful.
Yes.
And those feelings of elevation and growth and healing, just by us writing and
Yes.
displaying our scars and knowing that it's beauty in
Yes.
bruise, it's beauty and broken, it's beauty in sharing
Mm.
and being transparent. So if it means for us to come together and introduce you
Mm.
to yourself, in order to do that, to
Mm-hmm.
share your stories with the world, that's a feeling that we both want you to have an experience with. So the details are going to be coming to you. Jump in anytime, Erica.
I'm ready to jump in. Hey, I just want to let you know. Do you want me to share the price, or you want me to wait and let them know how many people that we only accept? I think they should get a little sneak peek and having an understanding of that. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
Well,
We're going
perfect.
to put
Look,
it
we
out
don't
on
want to.
display tonight, because once those spaces fill up, they're filled up. And we only want to do this
Yes,
quarterly.
yes.
It's going to be
We
a
are
quarterly
expecting to do
thing.
this 3 times this year,
Right.
and the first one is going to be before the Black Authors Lab.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at the dates March 13th and 14th, and we're going to the
Which
mountains, guys. I'm
mountain?
excited about
Which
this.
mountain?
We're going to Black Mountain in Asheville, North Carolina. Okay, so
Love
we're
it.
going to be up there March 13th and 14th. It's going to be a ladies' weekend only. We're going to try to work on something with the men
Next
next time, but
time.
this time this is Ladies on it, and we are calling
Absolutely.
it Dreamers Take
Ex-
Action. Taking action, okay?
mm-hmm.
And this is a March Mountains getaway. And because we talk about writing, we talk about we don't have the time, we talk about I need some space, the kids are getting on, yeah, I can't do this, the job,
Excuses.
this phone call. Look,
Excuses. That's what it
this
is.
weekend, that weekend, you're gonna have at least you're gonna have hours of hours to get content,
Mm-hmm.
get it down.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have the Valerie Miller
Yeah.
gonna be coaching,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have me doing a motivational piece for
Right.
you guys. And we're gonna have, look, this includes, this $250 is all it costs. Let me tell you, you cannot even go to, you can't even get a hotel room these days. Not nothing
No.
that's nice
No.
for a whole week, for Friday
And
and Saturday,
Saturday.
and your dinner is included and your breakfast. No. And the reason why your lunch is not included, because we want to go out and see sightsee,
Right.
and we can do lunch together.
Right.
Okay. And also your Black Authors Lab ticket is included
Included.
for you. Included when you get ready to come
Yes.
to Sherrod Black Authors Lab. So this is the moment time that you need to be signing up ASAP. Inbox us, inbox Valerie,
Right.
inbox me and say,
Right.
I want to be one of the 12. Did you hear what I said? One of the 12.
That's it.
Because this is a intimacy setting. One of the 12. And it's only going to be $20 deposit. Once we lock your $20 deposit in, it's non-refundable. Unless Valerie says so, we come back in and agree, but
Yeah.
non-refundable because we want to book the house, and so non-refundable. So $20 only to hold your seat, okay? And we talking about $250, easy breezy.
And
Valerie,
the beauty in that is you are taking action. It's a point behind dreamers take action. We can dream, we can talk about it, but words mean absolutely nothing. You've got to be about it. If you're going to speak it, do something to have a display in that. What are you going to
yes.
do? And there's so many nuggets that we're going to be sharing. Like I tell anybody, if you can take 15 minutes a day, that's all, Erica, 15 minutes a
Come
day,
on.
and put it towards your writings. Eventually, you will have a finished product. However, it's things like that that we're going to be talking about. And when I say strategic coaching and strategies that's going to benefit you, even when you go back home, and how you're going to be working on your craft, that's what we're going to be having conversations about, and taking you away from your chaos of days and what you do in a normal setting. This is going to really give you the meat of what you need, how you can go about structuring. Because she and I, little Miss E over here, we don't write the same. Uh-uh.
No, we do
We don't
not.
write
No,
the
no,
same
no.
at all. So
No.
we're going
Not
to be
at
talking
all.
about different writing styles and making sure that you align, because there is no right or wrong way of doing this. And I learned this from my favorite of all favorites, Toni Morrison. Rest in
Okay,
peace. You
now.
know, she is one of the reasons why I write. She gave me the nudge. And I probably should have put it on my timeline. Periodically, you'll see that I put this on my timeline, the quote. She said, if there's a book that you'd like to read and can't seem to find it, then you must write it.
Write it.
You
Check
must
mark.
write it.
You must write
Yeah,
it.
and that is what pushed me over, between that and Layla Hathaway. So if you know my story, I'm constantly talking about how I got that book done, how I became fabulous and a lady all the time. I'm so grateful to have been in alignment in my life for those instances to take place. And that's what's going to be so juicy about it, because you and I are so different in writing styles, how we think. However,
Yes.
this is going to be something masterful for all of the 12 that's in
Come
attendance,
on.
because it's going to help you align with what your craft is, your style is. So you know, because when you don't know, it's going to be difficult for you to be able to
I
commit to
have to
writing.
I have to jump in here because she said a magic word. We are going to be your pushers that weekend,
Yeah.
okay? We are
I'm
going to
your
be your
pusher.
pusher. See, we're gonna be your pusher that weekend, and all the encouragement that you need. And
Right.
when you leave, I want this to become your friend, time. You gotta let time become your friend and not your
Absolutely.
enemy. When you're
Absolutely.
writing, time has to become your friend and not your enemy.
Yeah. Commitment is everything. And that means
Yes.
something every single day. Don't make it to be strenuous. However, something that you're excited about. And when you can get to that space, and then you can imagine what it's going to be like to hold into your hand a finished product.
Ah,
I still
the smell
smile
of
about that,
victory.
honey. It really is. It is. And it's so worthwhile. So that's what our announcement is. So we had two juicy announcements. So if you're an author that has a finished product that is nonfiction and you want to share your story, definitely reach out to TVM. It's all about Wisdom Wednesday and different African Americans, whether it's businesses, no matter what you do, and you want to represent yourself, reach out to me because I will have community segments as well. So that's what I got. That's what I got.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome.
So that's all we're going to share right now because it looks like I'm down in juice and I had a full charge. But I tell you
Uh-oh.
what, how will the Sparrows contact you?
They can definitely inbox me, Erica Malachi on Facebook. I
Mm-hmm.
also have a page, the Empowerment Palace page,
Yes.
and then my website, www.theempowermentpalace.com. But you can, if you just Google the Empowerment Palace, we'll pull right up. We'll
Right.
pull right up.
Right. That's what fabulous looks like. That's what juicy sounds like. That's all about sharing. It's all about community and coming together. And you will be seeing more and more and more information because I feel it's so juice to share with you when it comes to bringing literature of our own descent. When I say African American descent, um, to you and pause.
Yes.
And, so many people say, African American, month or whatever. No, it's African American month every month.
Come on
And
now.
it's about
Come on.
education and knowing your history and knowing who has been before you as to why you were able to be. So
Yes.
that's all the juice I got. So on that note, it's time for us to wrap this show up with a bow.
Oh,
I know.
it's
You'll
been
be back.
wonderful.
You'll be back
Oh,
prior to March because it's going to be things that we'll be sharing. Okay.
okay.
So
All right.
that's it. Thanks so much for coming into the room, Erica.
Thank you
Hang tight
guys.
for
Love
a
you
moment.
guys.
And, Sparrows, give some likes and loves for Erica being here. And I also applaud each of you for dropping in and out and spending time with us as well. So share, share, share. Sharing is caring. And love without conditions. Always possess a positive attitude and soar in all you do. I love you, mean it.
Bye,
Smooches.
Valerie.
Ciao.
Smooches. Bye.